A reading from the Gospel according to St. John, chapter 2. God loves misshapes. On the third day, a wedding took place at Cana in Galilee. Jesus' mother was there, and Jesus and his disciples had also been invited to the wedding. When the wine was gone, Jesus' mother said to him, "They have no more wine." "Woman, why do you involve me?" Jesus replied. "My hour has not yet come." His mother said to the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." Nearby stood 6 stone water jars, the kind used by the Jews for ceremonial washing, each holding from 80 to 120 litres. Jesus said to the servants, "Fill the jars with water." So they filled them to the brim. Then he told them, "Now draw some out and take it to the master of the banquet." They did so, and the master of the banquet tasted the water that had been turned into wine. He did not realize where it had come from, though the servants who had drawn the water knew. Then he called the bridegroom aside and said, "Everyone brings out the choice wine first, and then the cheaper wine after the guests have had too much to drink. But you have saved the best till now." What Jesus did here in Cana of Galilee was the first of the signs through which he revealed his glory, and his disciples believed in him. Some years ago, I organised a large confirmation service at which our bishop presided. I took many hours typing out the order of service before printing it and photocopying it. It was only when the service started and we began to sing the first hymn that I realised an embarrassing mistake. I had, in hastily cutting and pasting a section, left a letter out of the final line of the first hymn. So we began the service by all joining in the hymn, which, instead of asking, "Lord, let us sing," petitioned God to, "Lord, let us sin." In our passage today, the organisers of the wedding really messed up. This miracle is often considered for its symbolic importance, with the new choice wine representing Jesus himself. At a more basic level, though, the miracle represents Jesus' offer of hope at our times of need. Running out of wine at a wedding might not sound disastrous. However, in first century Palestine, the wedding banquets would last a whole week, and if anything went wrong, it brought disgrace on the families of the bride and groom. Today, if a wedding party ran out of wine, people might moan and grumble a while, but in Israel 2,000 years ago, it was a serious offence to fail in your hospitality duties. In our own ways, I'm sure we can all relate to these wedding arrangements. We all make mistakes and get things wrong. Sometimes these mistakes are small, but sometimes they can have serious consequences. When we mess up, it can embarrass, depress, and worry us. This is where Jesus steps in, as he did at that wedding in Cana. He may not change the situation itself, but he can certainly change the way we view the situation. A disastrous mistake can become an opportunity, just as a wasted chance can lead to something useful. That can be as liberating as if Jesus had miraculously changed the situation. After all, he helps us to view our mistakes as he views them, with love, understanding, and forgiveness. Sometimes, in facing our blunders, we are hard on ourselves, judging ourselves in a way we rarely judge others. At other times, our mistakes can reveal that we care too much about how we appear to others. Our egos become dented, and that's the real reason for our upset. Then, of course, there are the times when our reaction to our mistakes, whether that is anxiety, anger, or embarrassment, is rooted in a desire to always be in control. Being a perfectionist is never an easy life, as we attempt to iron out all our own mistakes and judge others harshly for theirs. When I was a child, I adored chocolates that were called misshapes. These were all the chocolates that had gone wrong in the factory. The fact that they were not perfect made me love them even more. Each pack was unique, and when I opened them, I never knew quite what I was going to get. In some way, all of us reflect these chocolates. Most of us are broken, and none of us are perfect. But we are all unique, and many possibilities and opportunities can spring from our imperfections. Most important of all is the fact that even if we don't live up to the expectations of others and ourselves, God loves us for who we are. All of us are misshapes, but we must never forget that I am not the only one who loves misshapes. God loves misshapes too. Reflect on this. Think of a time that you have made a mistake, when you said or did the wrong thing. As you leave this incident with God, take time in stillness and silence to thank God for loving you, whatever mistakes you have made. Then commit yourself to loving others, whatever mistakes they have made. Ask Jesus to help you see others through his eyes.